Welcome to Daily Armor. Today we're going to be in John chapter 11, looking at verses 26 and verse 27. I've had to even go back and look at my previous devotion to kind of figure out where I left off. I've been really struggling with this set of devotions, more on the timing, which is so appropriate because I took this from a song called In His Time, and asking the Lord today to really help me and give me direction and to know how to just been having a struggle with delivery. With Lord, what are you wanting me to take from this? Originally got the list of scripture to use from a song that I recently was learning that was really personal and speaking directly to my heart and to my life. And then I asked the Lord this afternoon, and I was like, Lord, what do I do? And He just had me pull away from the song completely and just stick to the scripture that I took from that was pulled out from the verses of the song. So, which led me right to scripture, and it gave me so much good, wonderful examples to go to. And you may be struggling, as I am, in certain parts of your life, that you're going through some things and you're not forsaken, you're not discouraged, you're just simply going through life and you're going through a rough patch. And right now I'm going through a rough patch, and the Lord is leading me to all these scriptures to help me understand that things are going to happen, but in His time. And things are going to take place in His way, not the way that necessarily that I pray them, not necessarily the way that I think things are going to take place, but that He's got a completely different way of doing things than I do. I want to back up to verse number 25, which Jesus said unto her. He's speaking to Martha here. And He says, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Verse number 26, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? This is my thought for this devotion. Do you believe? Do you believe Jesus when He tells you something, when you're reading it in the scripture, especially in those precious red letters of the Bible? Do you believe what He says? And I hope that you respond the way that Martha did. And Martha responded, and this is her response in verse number 26, and it says, or verse 27, it says, she saith unto Him, Yea, Lord, I believe that Thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. She believed. She didn't understand everything that was going on. She was grief-stricken. She was heartbroken. Jesus was finally there, but He's finally there He's there on the fourth day that Lazarus has been in the tomb for 4 days. And all that Jesus is asking her is, do you believe me? Do you believe me? I'm going to show you some things. You need to believe. And then he didn't say, do you understand? He said, do you believe? Believest thou? He says, believest thou this? Because He said, I am the resurrection. I am the life. He said, do you believe I am the resurrection? And she's like, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the resurrection. You are the life. You are the Messiah. You are the Son of God. You are God Himself. She believed. But she was going through a rough patch. She was having a struggle. Life was being tough. Life was being hard right through here. And He's saying, He's going right back to what you and I have to do. And we just simply have to believe. And when we're doing that, what that means is it's not just believing, not just having an intellectual understanding, but it's actually putting our faith and trust in Him. One of the scriptures it's a favorite of mine, and I go to it from time to time, and I really held to it, about, 13, 14, 10 to 13 years ago, somewhere through there. And I just was saying it all the time, memorizing it and saying it all the time. And it's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, and you probably know it by heart as well. It's one of those things that we hold to, one of those verses when we can't make sense of things, that we just have to hold to it. And it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path. He didn't say you have to understand. You have to trust. Trusting is believing. Believing he's going to do something. Believing he's going to take care of it in the best possible scenario, in the best possible time frame. And that no matter if we are grief-stricken, if we are going through a rough patch, if we are just heartbroken to the core, that he knows about it and he knows how to help us. And he knows all of those things that are going on in our lives. The song that I was learning, I actually got to sing it this morning during the morning service. And there's a third verse to it that says, this trial that you're facing may be a child that's gone astray, or it may be a loved one who's never found the way. Jesus is the way, that's never found the way. Or it may be that problem that matters just to you. And I would say that it's not just one of these things or two of these things, or even that problem that matters just to you. I don't know about you, but I don't usually have just one problem. I'm right now being surrounded by them. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, gosh, Lord, you're going to do something amazing and you're going to do something awesome. I have to endure. I have to continue on. I have to lean on into my own understanding. I'm like, when I tried to, the problem I used to have, and I still struggle with it, I still have to be reminded of Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. I still try to make sense of things. I still try to understand. And then I simply have to submit and just submit and admit that I don't understand. I don't have it figured out. But you know what? What do I believe? What do I know? What do I know? I know that Jesus is God. I know that he's always on time. I know that he is holy and righteous and perfect and pure, and that his timing is perfect, and that he is perfectly able and capable of anything, that nothing is impossible. How do I know these things? Because he has showed me these things in his word. These are things that I have underlined, I have circled, I have highlighted. These are things that I take to heart, that I have to memorize, that I have to ponder on, that I have to remind myself when I get a little bit frustrated, and you get a little bit frustrated, and we have to go right back to his word and remember what we do believe. Don't run around acting like we don't believe. Don't run around being, acting like that we have no hope, because all my hope is in Jesus. All my hope is in him. And he has told me that he's all I need. And he shared with me that in his word, just like he did with Martha, just like he's telling her, do you believe? I am the resurrection. I am the life. Believest thou this? And she replied, yea, Lord, I believe. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.